Hey kitties, what up, what up? Welcome to Primal Scream. This is your host, Nick Graystone. For the next hour, we're going to talk about fantasy, reality, and everything in between. Let's go. Hey kitties, what up, what up? Welcome to Primal Scream. This is your host, Nick Graystone. For the next hour, we're going to talk about fantasy, reality, and everything in between. Let's go. Hey kitty.
Wolfman, stop it. Oh, we're live? Oh, okay. Great. Thanks, Wolfie. I appreciate it. What up, kitties? Welcome to another episode of Primal Scream with Nick Graystone. Shit, I should have just finished because now I got a stomach ache. We're going to have a special night tonight. I do have a special guest in the studio, but before I bring him out and talk about our upcoming feature, I'd like to just recap the last couple of weeks I haven't been around. We did have the Sweetmeats premiere at Lucky 13, and it went over awesome. I was also on set with the Tromaville universe for Lloyd Kaufman. Supposedly it's his last movie that he's directing. It's called The Power of Positive Murder. I play the Tutu terrorist. I do believe I have a graphic of that picture, Tony. It's like the American flag and carnage and everything.
Yep, there it is.
So there was a point where I was laying in a big pool of fake blood, and they're like, the cue Amanda to come in. So Amanda Flowers, really awesome lead actress, she comes out and she kneels beside me and starts praying, and then all of a sudden they're like, cue Toxie. And the mascot of Trauma, the guy that got me into it, the toxic fucking Avenger, is at my feet. And I'm laying up and I'm just like sighing, looking at the heavens, covered in blood, in my own personal heaven of my world, thinking, wow, kid, you made it. You're in a Trauma movie and you're sharing screen time with the toxic Avenger, New Jersey's only superhero. And it was just a great moment. You know, I had so much fun on set, and I can't wait for this movie to come out because I was on set for 3 days and I still have no idea what this fucking movie is going to be about. There's all this crazy shit's going on in typical Trauma fashion, and it's going to be pretty awesome. So, again, thank you, Trauma family, Lloyd, Uncle Lloyd, great. Sabrina Mendoza, she ran the Trauma dance at Lucky 13. Ricky Glore, he came down, and it was a great night. And it was just a fun couple of days with them. So usually I talk about deaths, and I wanted to kick off the show tonight with a happy birthday. I want to give a happy birthday to a guy who just turned 75 years old, and that's The Rock, Don Morocco. Now, he's an old school WWF wrestler. Now, for a wrestler to be in his 70s now, it's unheard of, because if you watch any of these old WrestleManias or any of these old like wrestling, videos and stuff, I'm going to say good 75% of these guys have passed away in like their 40s and their 50s. So, happy birthday, the magnificent one, Don Morocco, 75 years young. I got a picture of him. He's still surfing, and he still looks good. So, happy birthday, sir. I also, obviously, wouldn't be a Primal Scream episode if someone didn't die. So, I do have to give a shout out. It was actually today. Chad McQueen, 63 years old. He was Dutch in the original Karate Kid. And he's also the son of Steve McQueen. Now, as far as the Cobra Kai in the original Karate Kid, I feel between the first movie and the beginning of the second one, all of them redeemed themselves because they looked like scared kids getting bossed around by Kreese. But Chad McQueen did not. He stayed true to his prick fashion, and he went out in a blaze of glory in Karate Kid, and he lived in infamy. So, as the character of Dutch, he was a real prick in that movie. And he didn't take part in the Cobra Kai show for whatever reasons that may be. But, 63, that's way too young. So, rest in peace, Chad McQueen. I love The Karate Kid. It's one of my favorite movies growing up, and I just wanted to give him a shout-out. So, with that all being said, I do want to bring out my special guest right now. He's a guy I've been working with for a while to put out this movie that we've been working on for so long, and I'd like to bring on Scott Goldberg right now, the writer and director of The Forest Hills. And welcome to the Primal Scream episode, Scott.
Thank you, Nick. How are you doing tonight?
I'm jacked up, brother. As you can see.
Right.
Blood, sweat, and tears, man, putting out this movie, right?
It's been a ride, and as you know, being the part of the production, right? It's like there's so many variables to making a movie and trying to finish it. It's really hard to make a movie and to finish it, and because of everyone's talents and efforts, we did. So very thankful for that, and thank you, obviously, Nick, one of the exec producers of The Forest Hills, and we're just excited to finally be releasing it tomorrow. The trailer, and then October the film comes out. So
it's been such a, like I said, it's been such a long road doing this, and so The Forest Hills originally. This was a concept that you came up with a while ago. It was originally supposed to be a short film, or was a short film, and then it turned into what it is that we're releasing now. So I guess the first part of this, I'd like to talk about where the concept for The Forest Hills came about and how that started.
Sure. So there was an old film called The Forest Hills that was about these two horror beat writers from Kentucky, not from Kentucky, from New York, who traveled to Kentucky to document an urban legend, which is completely different, but an urban legend of two men who lived in the woods, who were in a relationship, and it's just, they were kind of like hillbilly type characters, and so they go into the woods, and these two girls, maybe like during their early 20s, Elaine and I forgot the other name, but their last name was Torrance, so obviously from The Shining.
Right.
So it was different, but I've always liked the title. So then came the opportunity, as you know, Elliot Dresnick, one of the other executive producers. I met him about 10 years ago. Filmed in his doctor's office for a short film I was doing at the time, and then from there we just kind of kept in touch. But then I met a producer in Michigan who wanted to make the movie. He said, if you got like $20,000, let's make a movie. I can do it. I got old abandoned houses, and Detroit's like really fucked up as far as like all like the streets and the locations that we can get, and it's like very dilapidated and stuff. So as I started having that conversation with the producer, there started becoming this like a lot of red flags. We couldn't match on the phone as far as like our communication. I was seeing it one way, he was seeing another, and then there was times like where he would just kind of get very frustrated and crazed, and I was just like, it was just really weird. I said, there's a lot of red flags here. So it's just so many different things that popped up, and we're just like, he didn't want me to use Chico Mendez because just for whatever reason, like he had people over there in the area of Michigan, and he didn't want me to use Chico. He's like, I got another actor, and I actually was distressed about that because I had told Chico, I said, I got a film that we want to do. It's in Michigan. It'll be like 2 weeks. Let's do it. And it all fell apart. So I said, Scott Hansen, one of the producers of the film, who was also the DP, we were in communication for the last couple of years, maybe since 2018 or so. And he's like, well, why don't you come film in Atlanta? And I said, well, why don't you come film in New York? And he's like, all right, fuck it, let's go. So he came out to New York, and we set the time aside. It was supposed to be August of 2022, but it was way too hot, and we still had preparational things that we had to do. So it just took some time, and then finally, we scheduled it for September 2022, and we started production. Yep.
Wow. So yeah, like even with that, before it even got to start to film, you already were going through some bumpy roads getting to that point.
Right.
Now, I know I have a lot of, like, people have asked me when I tell them, oh, yeah, I'm in a movie with Edward Furlong and Shelley Duvall,
Right.
and Dee Wallace and Felissa Rhodes. Like, how did you get all these people to get, like, to be involved? Like, personally, like, you reached out to every single person and just say you had, like, a special part that you had written for them?
Yeah, reached out to the agent, or I guess manager of Dee Wallace, and at the same time we were talking to the agent of Edward Furlong, and Edward Furlong's agent, was like, well, he's this amount of money, which was astronomical. We couldn't afford that. And I was like, well, what about like a cameo role, like a one-day thing? And he's like, well, he'll do maybe a voiceover role or something. And I was like, so we just communicated. It was like later like a 5-month back and forth through text and email, trying to figure out how to involve him. And at the same time, Scott Hansen was saying, well, the best thing you can have is probably 2 or 3 names. You need that in order for a film to sell. I've sold, my first film had no one, it didn't sell. The last 3 or 4 had people in it that had names, and they sold, like a Danny Trejo and things like that.
Right.
So we took to that kind of idea to maybe try to see if we go down an avenue. At the time, Edward Furlong had said yes, and Dee Wallace had said yes, and I was like, oh well, we don't have the money. We gotta raise more money. So, so we were able to get them both, and then from there. I wanted Felissa Rose to play the role of Sadie, but she wasn't available that time frame. So Anita Durst, as you know in the film, did a great job.
Yeah, she was awesome.
So we continued to cast people, and then there was kind of like the idea that what about Shelley Duvall? So the phone number, I found Dan Gilroy's phone number on a website, and I contacted him, and he said, I'm going to give you Shelley's number. You could call her. I was a little nervous, so I passed it along to like John. I think it was John Russell Kring or maybe Scott Hansen or something, one of those. And we were kind of just throwing around ideas. I think I said to John, "Why don't you give Shelley a call? Let's see if she's interested." Because obviously I'm a big fan of Shining. You are, everyone is, right? So it's like you get nervous, but so I was doing a lot of hands-on work with a lot of other things. I said, "John, can you make a phone call?" And then he calls me back and says, "Shelley's interested." I said, "Great, let's get her down." The problem was, she was having health issues with her leg at the time, and she couldn't travel. And so those are the early discussions. And there was, rumblings throughout the first 2 weeks of production. Oh, Shelley Duvall's going to be in it. Shelley Duvall. We didn't have her. We didn't secure her. It wasn't until after production had wrapped where Scott Hansen and Steve Willenda went down from Georgia to Texas, traveled in their in Scott's Digital Thunderdome van, and they went up to Texas, and they met her, and they filmed a scene outside. It was October. It was a little cold, but she willed through it. They put up like a black, background behind her. I think it was probably shot in her driveway, and they used I think it was like a Canon R5C. It's one of like the Canon cameras from like 2003 or 2002 or so. That was 2003. Wasn't was filmed in 2022. It wasn't filmed in 2023. Yep. So we did that, and then she's like, I would like to actually act with people. I don't want to just act by myself. So then the idea started churning. I said, okay, well, if she wants to act with other people, why don't we get someone involved? Maybe we could kind of build on the story. And then Felissa Rose became available because I needed someone to play a doctor. Someone on Facebook had suggested. I said, who do you guys suggest? Like, what's a horror name that you feel like could be good in a scene with Shelley Duvall? And I've gotten like people like contacting me saying like, oh, I want to be in it. And it was like people like who weren't really established or didn't have a name or a pull. And I felt like adding someone like Felissa, and She's
got a name in horror.
Yeah. But the issue was, when I look on YouTube, I didn't see a lot of sequences with Felissa Rose that not impressed me, but like she was playing a lot of like horror characters, like an evil doctor or someone like that. So we communicated. I said, can you read these sides for me? And her daughter filmed her reading sides, and then the rest is history. I thought she did extremely good, and I said, okay, let's do it. So
she really did, because like you said, I never saw her do a role like that before. Like usually she plays like ditzy characters or like over the top, like that. She was in I think Victor Crowley, like the Hatchet 4.
Was she okay? Yeah.
Yeah, which she was good in, but she plays like a pill popping like publicist, and she's just nuts.
She's in everything. I mean, the convention she does is really amazing, right? It's like,
dude, she's in a convention every week, man.
every week. Yeah.
You know, like
Amazing.
she works hard.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm gonna say she's probably like the Bret Michaels of like
Right.
conventions on like how he tours music wise.
Yeah.
She does that. She makes a living off of it because, you know, she's very personable. She's very nice. And like at this point, like who the fuck hasn't met Felissa Rose yet? But there's still people out there. I mean, you got to look at it too. She's part of a cult classic movie, you know, Sleepaway Camp, the original Sleepaway Camp.
Yep.
You know, that's a cult. That's a cult classic right there. I mean, it's not like, you know, it's not like The Shining. The Shining is a different level of horror, but for as far as like a low budget that has all the still has wheels on it all these years later, Sleepaway Camp, and you know, it's a successful horror franchise.
I mean, there's been some interviews with her where I've seen like where she's not putting on a front. Like when she's sincerely into like people. There's some people, right, who maybe we all have days like where we have to smile and put on a smiley face, and it happens a lot with in general, right? But I feel like someone like Felissa, there's something pure about her and like honest, like. And I've saw this one interview like where she was really open with someone who was interviewing her, and she was just like being open and real. And it's like I really feel like she's the type of person that's about like love and giving love and being loved and just having a open dialogue with people, within
Absolutely.
this, so that was really cool to see, and not a lot of people like that. So it's nice to see, and I think she sincerely wants to meet her fans and talk to them, and she's a horror fan herself, so it's good to have that the horror community has people like that
Absolutely.
in it,
she does a podcast with Kane Hodder, and he's another
really?
one,
Okay.
and like Kane, he has that intimidating look about him, but the dude's all heart,
Right.
I remember, I'm not going to try to go off topic or whatever, but I remember checking into a hotel once, and for some reason my card wasn't working, and I had to do something. I had to like put a down payment, and then something was going on with my room. Well,
Right.
anyway, my kid was, I think, maybe 6 months old at the time.
Oh, wow.
I had a whole car full of stuff, and there's a little bit of tension at the desk at the hotel. And
Right.
now Kane knows me since I'm like 10 years old, and he
Wow.
was at the desk and he saw me, and he just walked over. And he was like, is everything good, bud? And I'm like, yeah, we're just getting it figured out. And he goes, you got any issues, just let me know.
Wow.
Now, that's Kane Hodder, like, just coming up to me, not being Kane Hodder, like,
Yep.
oh, I'm Jason Voorhees, and, like, I'm going to sell you an autograph. That's him genuinely, like, concerned if there was, like, an issue or whatever. And I
Right.
thought that was just really like a stand-up thing, and I thought that was very cool of him. So I always make it like like I've met him so many times and I've seen him so many times. I just try to make, anytime I go to a convention, I make sure I'll go to his table just to say what's up to him, because see, he really is like the real deal.
That's cool.
And she's the same way,
I spoke to him early on, like in the early 2000s, through email, because I found his email. I don't know if it was like through AOL, like how you could find people like on AOL, like the service.
Yeah.
And I have this funny story because like I contacted Kane Hodder, and I was like really like crazy vegan at the time, and I was like, man, I know you like probably eat meat. You should like think of going vegan.
Did he lose it?
No, he didn't respond, but I just thought that was hilarious. Because I was at the time, I was like, it was like 2000 or so, and I had like a personal trainer like that like got me into like veganism and stuff, and it was just pretty funny. I'll never forget that. I just you could build a lot of muscle if you just go vegan. Oh my god, it was ridiculous, but I just thought it was pretty funny.
I'm sure he probably had a laugh and shared it with all the Jasons and everything.
Right, but getting as far as back to like you said, the people involved. So then like it was Stacey Nelkin, and then Marianne Hagen. So
Stacey Nelkin from Halloween 3
3.
and Marianne Hagen from 6.
Yeah,
Halloween 6.
Yeah. So then that's that kind of rounded off everyone, and that's how my kind of like involvement with like getting involved with everyone and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a stacked lineup, of talent, and originally, like some of the roles, like you said, like Felissa was supposed to be Sadie, and wasn't the role of Billy supposed to go to Dee Wallace?
It was because they both, because we weren't sure if Edward Furlong was going to be able to do the role, because he was potentially going to be Angela Dee Wallace's character, the pump person in the restaurant in the kitchen with Rico. So yeah, I mean, she was. Her manager said that she won't put on like werewolf stuff, because we wanted to do like that campfire,
like
the campfire scene stuff, like fangs and fake blood and stuff. So that kind of said, all right, you know what, that's not going to work. And then Edward Furlong's like, yeah, dude, I'll do it.
How Eddie he is.
Yeah. And so he did it, and that's the rest is history. So he was there for like 3 days, and then there was a fourth day. Remember, like the that you were.
That's
part
where
of.
I came.
Yeah, over at Vernon's in Deer Park, New York.
So for those of you who don't know the story, my friend Angela asked me if I heard about the Forest Hills. So at that point, you guys had wrapped the first round already, and you guys had an Indiegogo campaign, and she asked me if I heard about it because her dad's gastroenterologist, that's Elliot, was an executive producer on this film.
Yeah.
And she asked me if I had heard about the movie, and they have an Indiegogo campaign. They have different parts that they're looking for. They're looking for funding for the film. So I'm looking at all this stuff, and I don't see anything about music. So at this point, I just really wanted to see maybe if they wanted to see about getting one of Demon Scar's songs in there. So I ended up writing a email or a message to Elliot. I didn't write it to you. And it took a couple of days, but Elliot wrote back to me, and he said, look, I have no call on that.
Okay.
What I could do is I'll get you in contact with the director. And within 15 minutes, you called me, and then we started talking. You had already listened to Hand of Kings, and you were vibing on that.
Yep.
So then you had offered me, listen, if you donate a certain amount, what I could do is I'll use one of your songs in the movie. I'll make you an associate producer. And what are you doing on Monday? Because you could be in a scene with Edward Furlong.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I think I should talk to my band, but I think they're going to be all in. Okay, let's do this.
Yeah.
It was a fucking whirlwind, and it's just like, holy shit. And then from there, I invested a little bit more, and I felt like I really believed in this film, because I felt like it was already in the bag. We already had the premiere already set up, I feel.
Yep.
From what I thought at that point, like, okay, we're going to film this part. Now it's done. We're going to get it to the premiere, and then we're going to shop it around, and whatever. The rest will be history.
Right.
But really, that was the beginning of the roller coaster ride for me, where I got on. Because from there, we had the premiere, and then that's when we started changing. You started changing the film from what it was when they first showed it. So
yeah,
that whole process was crazy.
It was, and so you talk to a streamer, and I think to a degree they're interested, but it needs to be more horror. It's a drama. So, and I'm glad that we changed things, only for the fact that I feel like it made it what it was supposed to be, because I feel like we were getting a lot of bad reviews about how slow it was, a slow burn, and there's a reveal at the end. But to actually have Rico as a kind of conspiracy theory, maybe he believes in monsters and wolves and stuff like that. I think that was such a more cooler story. So I remember you came out that day involved in that scene where we did the phone call where you called Rico. Remember we shot at in Saugerties at that campground. I think it was Blue Mountain Campground. And we shot with Vernon over there. And so that kind of opened up the story in a different way, instead of it being about Rico and the sister, and the sister sitting with him and him crying to everyone and whatnot. So we were still able to kind of situate some sort of different opening, but very similar, because it's still him sitting around a group of people, but he was just standing and leaning against that wooden table. And we kind of showed that you were there, because we, obviously as Arnie, advances, we see like, in the rabbit scene and also in the other sequences, with Arnie, we expand that character, and I think like that's kind of like an interesting way sometimes to go, because you're organically building these characters and you're kind of building off of that, and the story unfolds that way.
Yeah.
So we had to kind of mesh both movies together in a way.
Right.
We had their earlier cut and the other one. Scott Hansen was like, well, I got your story is Vernon, like Vernon and Rico, like you should, and I understood like what he was saying, but when it comes to budget and trying to like not really spend anymore and trying to keep it simple, you had to kind of mesh them both together. Now, if I would ever do a sequel, it would probably be, I would go, about like Mama's house burning down and like butchering bodies up and hiding them in the woods in like the Texas area. Like I really would have like done, that would have been cool to do, but you just don't have a budget for that. So maybe for like the book or something.
Yeah, you never know.
You
never know. Like we'll see where this takes us. Like it's the beginning of the next round on the old merry-go-round, brother.
Right. Yeah.
It's very exciting. It's very scary because it's unknown what's going to happen. But whatever, man. This is what it's all about.
Right. Yeah.
Because we've been cinephiles our whole life. So I mean, it's kind of like going back to now when you said my name is Arnie. Like when I first heard that character name, knowing that I knew that Scott was a horror, a love of horror, I assumed that it was Arnie Cunningham from Christine. And I was like, sick, man. I'm named after a badass. But in actuality, it's a different character. And what was that?
Arnie from What's Eating Gilbert Grape. Although I kind of, it was a mixture, but that was more of like my...
Which is a great film too.
Yeah.
Not horror, but it's it's true life. That's one of those movies that's kind of like it hits you.
Yeah.
It's very an emotional movie. Leonardo DiCaprio kills it in there. Johnny Depp's great in it. You know, that's a really good film.
So like, what are some of your like things that you grew up like when you were 10 years old? What were the movies you saw? Because like for me, I'll give you 3 real quick. I'm not gonna like expand on because I want to hear about yours. But like Radio Flyer, I saw when I was a kid. It's like 10 years old. That really hit me hard. And you think about it too, like with a movie like that, it's done at a time like when a kid watches a movie, they don't think about the abuse, the alcoholism from the father and all that stuff, and they think that Bobby got away, he flew away, but in reality he didn't. Because there's an interesting thing that I saw real quick on YouTube when the letter is hanging and the brother is typing on the I remember it a certain way. Tom Hanks was like later on there's a postcard he has. And the handwriting is different than the postcard that was hanging. There was like a shot of the postcard hanging. The writing was different. So I think the perspective was that he wrote or the mother wrote it or something. It was a way of the kid
closure.
Dealing with that kind of thing. Hey, I'm traveling around the world. And like so, and that's why Tom Hanks says you ever hear about the story of the eye, the eye and the beast, whatever it's called, the story in the eye of the beholder, whatever it is. But then Forrest Gump is another one that I grew up on.
Sure, man.
In '94, and then so. But what about you? Like, what are like the top 3 that you remember? Like when you were like 10 to 13 to 14, where they're like.
So out of the horror genre, the ones that really hit me like hard growing up, and like one of them right off the bat that still it hits me even harder as I watch it as I get older is Stand By Me. Stand By Me, like it has that innocence of like, hanging out with your friends and this is like the best time we've ever had. But that line that hits me always, man, like is it when it's at the end, like it's like some of the best memories that I ever had were when I was 10, and like they just became faces in the hallway, like
oh my God.
It's such a great film and it holds up. It sucks that River Phoenix passed away at such a young age, because I feel like he could have given us so much more of those types of roles. Right. So definitely Stand By Me. My Girl, that was another one that really hit me hard.
Macaulay Culkin, right?
Macaulay Culkin and Anna Klumsky.
With the bees and what did he say?
Man.
She said he
can't see without his glasses.
Yep. Oh God.
Like that.
Fucking can't, man.
That totally hit me. I'm gonna say also Rocky. You know, Rocky,
Rocky,
the underdog. You know, the underdog. I always go back to that. You know, just not giving up. Even doesn't matter how old you are. Even like the story of like, I saw it a little bit later in life, but A Bronx Tale.
Okay.
You know, Chaz Palminteri wrote that movie when he was in his 40s, dude. You know, and like he sold it to De Niro, and he was like, I want you to make this movie with you, and like he got on the play on it because De Niro went to go see him do a one-man show of that.
Right.
And that story is just, oh man, it's like, I feel like anyone from the Bronx could have wrote something like that because you had to live that to write it.
Okay, right.
You know, and that like just the elements of like the father and everything. It reminds me of my old man. You know, my old man was kind of like Robert De Niro. He wasn't like an Italian guy, you know, and he wasn't like a macho guy, but like just the values that he had. And you see that in this movie, and it just, every time I watch it, man, like I always just get choked up emotionally watching that. So that's those movies definitely hit home. But you know when
I really like gets me because I mean I always cry. A League of Their Own.
Sure.
Oh my God! And especially at the ending. Holy shit!
With the when they're at the Hall of Fame and they're all older
and then
and stuff.
She sees her sister.
Sees her sister,
God,
and man, like, do you think she really dropped that ball on purpose to make her sister shine?
Yeah,
I think so, man.
I think so. But also that song by Madonna at the end, "This used to be our playground."
Yeah,
Holy
dude, what a great
shit.
tune.
I mean, I saw it in the theaters, and I was blown away by that movie. That's one of those movies like that as a kid I remember seeing for sure. Yeah. But is there like one movie that you see in the theater when you were like 10, 12, 13 in the theater that you'll like never forget that really like connected with you? Or anything in your like early years, I guess.
My early years. Well, I'll tell you the scariest movie I ever saw when I was 10, and I probably shouldn't have seen it, was Fatal Attraction.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I slept on my parents' floor for fucking weeks, man. And I'm already knee-deep in, like, horror at this point.
Yeah.
Dude, there ain't nothing worse than a crazy bitch like that. She goes off in that movie, dude. Oof. Glenn Close.
Yep.
Like, first of all, there's no such thing as no strings attached, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Like, and she shows you that right off the bat. And, like, her role as Alex Forrester had, like, you feel.
Oh my God.
You feel it.
Yeah, I know. As if you did it, you know.
Oh my God, dude! It's just like they didn't want her at first. I read like up on it the other day.
Oh, wait, so Alex was her name in the thing, right?
Yeah.
I was talking about Michael Douglas. Okay, yeah.
Oh no, Michael Douglas is Dan.
Again? Dan. Okay, yeah. But no, she was. I mean, that performance was like in fucking sane.
I forget who they wanted because the director said, "Oh, Glenn Close can't be sexy." But, dude, she came into the audition with her hair teased and everything, and she looked like Alex. And, like, if you look at her, you know, Glenn Close is not like, I don't know, like, I hate to say sexy ugly, but, like, she is a sexy ugly actress. Like, I feel like, you know, I'm not trying to diss her in any way. I mean, that may sound like a diss or whatever, but, like, she just doesn't come across as like they wanted like someone like kind of like Sharon Stone or something.
Okay, yeah.
You know, in that role, but like she came in and she was oozing sex in that movie. I mean, I don't know what married man wouldn't have said no. Yeah, would have said no. You know,
it's scary too because like if you think about it, like in today's society, you know, that is very prevalent. That situations like that can happen. You know, if someone goes away and you meet with someone and there's like a connection, it's like, you know, I mean, it's real. It's realistic, and I think like it's very similar to the movie Unfaithful. There's one scene.
Same director.
Was it really? Oh shit! See, I didn't even know that. When the guy gets hit in the globe with the globe in the head, like that was scary than any. Like that scared me more than any horror movies I've seen at that point. You know, because it's like it's reality. It's like holy
Diane
shit.
Lane.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's
Diane
like
Lane and was it Michael Douglas?
Richard Gere.
Richard Gere.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
I got the list here for people they considered before Glenn Close.
Okay.
It's a long list. Well, first, Barbara Hershey was offered the role, but she was unavailable.
Oh, she would have been sick in that movie.
French actress Isabelle Adjani. Tracy Ullman.
What?
But she declined because she didn't like the boiling of the bunny. Miranda Richardson.
Okay.
Ellen Barkin, Deborah Winger, Susan Sarandon, Jessica Lange, Judy Davis, Melanie Griffith, and Michelle Pfeiffer all passed, and then Kirstie Alley actually auditioned for the role but didn't get it.
Wow.
That's quite a list.
And so I also looked something up about this too. Now, the original ending, she kills herself on screen. And they showed that to test audiences.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, bro, you got to cut this out because it's like, that's the end of the movie. And it just like leaves you
Right.
not like with a suspense thriller or whatever. They had to have her come back and try to like kill the family or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, dude, she slices her throat in the original ending.
Really?
Oh my God. And you watch it, man, it's just like, Jesus Christ, she puts the exclamation point like in that. Did she win the Oscar for that? I think she was nominated.
Let's see. Nominated. The movie received 6 nominations: Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actress, Best Supporting Actress. Failed to win any of them.
Ooh, shit! Really?
What year was it? 87, right?
I think it's 80. Oh, you're right, 87.
Yeah, so that was Moonstruck.
Oh.
Cher won.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
That's good. I'm impressed.
You know what's funny about the movie is like I typed in because I went to this year to with my daughter the Rye Playland for the first time, and I looked
That's
up.
still open?
It is, yeah.
Really?
I looked up films that were filmed there, and
right?
and yeah, when she took her on the roller coaster,
Dude, that scene, she looks nuts.
I know.
The kid's screaming her head off, and she's just deadpanning, like staring off into like, oh my God, man, yeah, dude, I'm getting fucking goosebumps talking about it. No shit, dude, I slept on my parents' floor for fucking 2 months because of that movie. They're like, I told you shouldn't have went to go see that movie. And I'm like, you fucking took me to go see it. What are you talking about? 10 years old.
You know, movie fucked me up because my brother, I was 8 at the time. My brother was 10. He had his friends sleeping over, and they put in a VHS. And it's the first time I ever saw it. Dario, was it Argento who did Demons? No, who did Demons? It was. And like when when the face start and the teeth start coming out and stuff, and like there's all that. Freaked me the fuck. I couldn't even watch that. It was,
those Italian horror movies, man, they hit you.
But you know what? You know when I saw Jason Goes to Hell in the theater when I was like, I don't know, when they come out, 93 or something like that. Maybe I was like 11 or whatever, maybe 11, 12. When the doctor, was he the coroner, whatever it was, eats the heart. I like turned my head and I turned my head. I remember like someone like looking at me. I'm like, oh, sorry. it was because I couldn't watch that. It was really gross to me to see the guy like eating the heart. And then my friend Sahil, when I watched it at his house in the basement, like as we as we're like older and we got on VHS, he's like, it looks like barbecue chicken or something. It looks like he's like not even eating the heart. It looks like the brown. It looks just like barbecue chicken or some shit like that.
Oh shit! You know what? I forgot to do this. So, kiddies, whoever's listening right now, we have a phone number. Tony's gonna post it. If you answer this question right, it's a horror question. You'll get a free Forest Hills original motion picture soundtrack that has Demon Scar, Aiden, Coventry Carols, Creep Scene, the Freud Collective, State of Shock, Unhealed, and also a solo song by myself. So if you answer this question right by calling in right now or commenting anywhere or sending a DM, I will send you one free Forest Hills original motion picture soundtrack. So the question is, in The Shining, there is a nickname that Shelley Duvall calls Danny throughout the movie. What is that nickname? It's pretty easy enough.
Can I say something about The Shining too? Like,
sure, go ahead.
There's just something about that film. Like when you watch it, you feel like stuck in the Overlook. There's something about what Kubrick did with like when you like with the sound design in that film is great too because you have like the wind sounds, you have like the Indian chants or whatever those things are going on, and you feel like the isolation. I feel like the lighting and everything. It kind of just reminds me of like it's very claustrophobic feeling like when they're like stuck within that mountain, and especially when you see the outside too and the snow piled up. Kubrick did a fantastic job in that film, and obviously Shelley Duvall as well.
And even like the descent of Jack Nicholson. I mean, like he looks nuts in the beginning of the movie, but like when he gets to where he's going, that's one of the best bug out scenes you can ever ask for.
Yeah.
Even Scatman Crothers,
God.
Like his role, is just creepy too.
He was crying in the behind the scenes. You saw like how grateful he was, like to be a part of like the like I think that's what it was, that he was grateful to be a part of The Shining. There was like an interview. I don't know if it was an interview that Vivian Kubrick did or not. It was like that behind the scenes doc that she did, but that was really cool to see because you can actually
What is that,
see
the Room 237?
No, it was one from like the 80s that she shot on like, I think it was like 16 millimeter film. It's
okay. You see like all the behind
the scenes.
stuff.
I think that was from maybe and he was interviewed, or maybe it was another interview. But but I saw recently there was a doc that just came out that one of the sisters of Stanley Kubrick did. I think it was about that location that they shot in the kitchen. It's on YouTube. I think I saw it was like a 30-minute documentary. It's really cool, like where. There's a lost location that was never like taken down or anything, and has like the same remnants of like the kitchen area. Yeah.
Wow.
Like the actual like pantry and stuff that was shot at an actual like warehouse, and it's in like London or the UK or somewhere out there. It was pretty cool.
I think that I was at a convention once, and they had it was a Shining reunion, and it was the two girls, the Burns sisters, Lisa and Louise, and Danny. And I believe Danny, still in his possession, has one of Jack Nicholson's coats from the movie.
Really?
Yeah, he ended up like taking it home with him.
Oh wow!
And he still has it. Like, he didn't want nothing to do with the movie because he's a teacher now.
Yeah.
And he only really came out, started doing conventions in the last like I'm gonna say probably like the last like 10 years.
Right.
Because like it's money to be made and people to be met, like, and especially
sure.
that movie, man, like it still has its legs,
Yeah.
We have one guess on the trivia question.
Oh yeah,
great.
they're calling in.
No, it's a comment on Facebook.
Okay.
Mike Gencarelli.
Yes.
Yep.
Is it Doc?
It is Doc.
There you go.
All right.
Mike Gencarelli is also an associate producer of
good guy.
the film.
Congratulations.
Mike. You do have. I'll send you. DM me your address, and I will send you a copy of the Forest Hills original motion picture soundtrack. Very well played, young man.
Yep.
But yeah, she calls him Doc.
Yep.
I used to. I love that scene. Like they're sitting around. She's talking to him, and he's doing the finger.
Yep.
And his little friend was named Tony, like my little friend over here.
That's what the girls call me, Little.
Little Tony.
Little friend.
Oh, so, okay. Now that we're talking about, like, we'll get back into the Forest Hills and everything. We have a scene that I was begging Scott to show. So, where I was brought on, early on, we found this girl. How did Hope find you? Hope found you? Or
Yeah,
you
she
found
messaged
Hope?
me on Facebook. and
Okay,
then-
so this girl, Hope Martinez, she plays young Shelley in the movie Young Mama. First show her picture, because like total doppelganger, like for young Shelley, man, like she nailed it. But there is an opening, an alternate opening to the movie, and we shot that in where? In Llewellyn?
Welland Preserve in Glen Cove, yep.
Welland Preserve in Glen Cove. This was back in March of 2023. And I was always an advocate for this opening. I thought it was killer. I thought Scott did a good job. But Scott's a bit of a perfectionist, and he thought that the lighting or something was off, and he didn't like the way that it came out. But you guys are in for a special treat right now, because this is the original opening. Well, not the original. This is opening 4.0 of The Shining. I mean, the Forest Hills with Hope Martinez playing Young Mama. That was it. That was the opening. One of the openings that was getting kicked around for a little while. I think it looks fantastic. I think like Scott did a really awesome job. What were you filming on?
That was the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera, the OG version, they call it. The original version, because then the Blackmagic Pocket 4K camera came out. And yeah, but the problem was that the rolling shutter is horrible. So unless you have some sort of like some sort of really steady hand, it like looks what's called jello in like video. It just like kind of wobbles. So we really had to be careful. But a good job with assisting on that. I remember we were assisting on a bunch
that was
of
cool,
shots.
man.
Yeah.
That was pretty
I do
awesome.
like that opening, but Scott Hansen was like, what really needs like, I'm not. Well, I guess it's a scene where Mama tries to kill her kids. In a garage.
It's a great opening.
Yeah. So that was my take when I filmed that. Was like, okay, we really don't have the budget. Let's kind of do something real easy. Hope can fly out. We'll just shoot this and add it in the beginning before Mama wakes up in her bed.
Yeah.
So that's where it was. But then it ended up being, as we continue to shoot more, the editing changed, so we kind of couldn't really use it, unfortunately. But it's on the Blu-ray, so that's good.
That's right. And the Blu-ray and the DVD is going to be available pretty soon, right?
Tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah, there we go, man.
WatchTheForestHills.com, yep.
WatchTheForestHills.com. Plus, we have a theatrical run that's coming up pretty soon as well. When does that start?
Friday, October 4th, and that's at TFHscreenings.com, TheForestHillsScreenings.com, all abbreviated, except for screenings.
And tomorrow, actually, you kids are in for a treat right now. I don't have the name of the link or whatever, but if you Google the Forest Hills original motion picture soundtrack, it is on Bandcamp right now. I uploaded it a little bit while ago, but I'll give you guys that Thursday night release like back in the day. So if you'd like to buy that, that's up for sale right now. And also, these bad boys, if you're into collecting stuff, I like collecting stuff. So we do have the CD available. They're $13. That's with shipping included. And you can DM me or message the Facebook page, and we'll get you out one. And again, there's a stacked lineup of great original music on here. Shout out to from Tony Zamp from Creep Scene. He helped me out with the layout, and he's also on a song with Demon Scar, which is actually featured in the film Don't Bite the Hand That Feeds. Hand of Kings, like I said, killer tune that's on here. Aiden, you found Aiden, right? You've been a fan of him for a while, right?
Yeah, for a while, yeah, yep.
He's under a different name now, or is it
William Control? Yeah, he's got some really cool music, very like Depeche Mode kind of stuff, 80s type of style that he's been doing over the last couple of years. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So Violence and Devotion. That's another song that's on here. Yep. The Crippling Fear of Night. That's my buddy Soda from Coventry Carols. Yep. They're from Long Island. He actually came down to help us the other night for a little video promo that we did promoting the film's release in the theater. Which, by the way, being cinephiles that we are, that's the way to see this movie.
It is. There's no other fucking way, man.
You have to see it in the theater.
Really is.
like how we were saying, like sitting in the movies, watching these movies growing up and everything. Even like when we get the chance, like didn't you run out to the theater the other 2 weeks ago at Cinema Arts Center to see a print of Fright Night on 35 millimeter?
God, that's fucking great.
It was great, right? Yeah.
Really cool. I think, and I remember saying something to someone else, and they're like, "Oh, well, we found a print too, but it's all cut together." And I think this is the print. It was like cut together because it's so old. It's like there's like parts that like really just are like it cuts from one sequence. Like, oh, what's going on? Like it's really.
But it's the imperfections that make the movie.
Oh, there we go. Right. That was from before that show. Sorry.
There's
a little delay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Bandcamp thing. Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tony. Yeah. That's the link right there. Give a big shout out to Tony Walker, my producer, my right-hand man.
We have a question from Mike Gencarelli.
Yes.
Scott, would you ever consider filming a project on the new iPhone 16 Pro? Supposedly it's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool. I mean, I'm always looking for different cameras to film on. I love like the vintage looks. I'm still trying to find like an old VHS camera that doesn't have, unfortunately, aliasing, which aliasing, for those who don't know, unfortunately, is when you have a camera and because it was from so long ago, you'll see like these squiggly lines around like corners and stuff. So like on your hat, for example, if I film with the VHS camera, you might see like little squiggly lines outlining any shape. And that's really annoying. But I've seen like if you look on Instagram, it's really cool. There was a video I saw shot on like that Back to the Future camera, the one that Marty McFly holds. for Spirit Halloween. I don't know if you've seen it, but really cool to see like someone put it on Instagram, like their video that they shot in 2024 on their on that VHS camera. It's really cool. So I love that aesthetic. I really like that. So any camera. And now they have a new one that just came out, the Blackmagic. I think it's like a 65 millimeter. It's camera, so not a 35 or a full frame. It's like 65 millimeter. $29,000 for the camera. Fuck.
Woo. Did you see?
It's crazy.
This is a couple of years ago, but somebody reshot the beginning of Dream Warriors on an iPhone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude, and it came out awesome.
Really?
I don't know what program it was, but it's an iPhone, and I don't know how they pieced it all together, but dude, it looks killer, man. Some of these iPhone cameras are really like legit, you know. Like working with Brian, who's doing the documentary for us. Anytime like when he wasn't around or whatever, he'd be like, "Dude, just change it over to 4K on your phone and send me that. Film it this way." And some of the footage that I shot, he's been able to use in the documentary. So, if that goes out to people listening into this, you could really make something look really well.
Yep.
As long as you have a good story,
I
feel, and if you have the equipment, it doesn't come second nature. But I mean, if you have something, you could create something really awesome on an iPhone. So you just got to come up with that great idea. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah.
Now jumping back before, because you were talking, Mike had a question before that, but we were talking about imperfections in movies and everything. Now this is one of our favorite movies of all time.
Yeah.
Halloween, the original Halloween.
Oh my God, of course.
When you watch that with the original thing in a movie theater on a 35, and it's got like that sped up soundtrack, like after speed kills and stuff, and like just there's like certain things that like you grew up watching that you're accustomed to. So when you see like a polished version, you appreciate it, but you still want to see that original way.
100%. You've seen it in 35, or you mean, or
I've seen it in 35.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit! On Long Island, or
or
Warwick, or like at a drive-in, or
I saw it in. It was a movie theater in Universal Studios.
Oh wow!
Yeah, they had a screening of it.
35
millimeter.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It was pretty. It was pretty sweet.
It's kind of like one of those things, like where like those books, the Halloween books. Isn't there like a rare one that like or people try to sell for like $395 on like eBay? I see like it's like with the ghost with like the pumpkin face or something like that.
Oh yeah, those are those are crazy.
Rare,
man. Those people are nuts with that.
But yeah, no, Halloween. I mean, look. We all have memories of it, right? For me, it's like I was in high school. I remember, I never had seen a film. It was 1996, maybe it was 1995. Blockbuster was selling like Night of the Living Dead. I don't know if you remember those. They had like the ones that they released. It was
the
Night of the Living
classics.
Dead. Yeah, the horror classics.
Yeah.
So I picked it up, and I remember seeing with my sister. I was bored. I was bored of it. I was like 12, 13. Then like 2 years later, I really started getting into it. And like when I was in high school, I would go in, I'd eat lunch. I wouldn't eat lunch in the cafeteria. I just like would go into different rooms and stuff. So they had a VHS player. So I would put the VHS player in, and I would start writing on a pad. I would pause and play like the whole film and like write like like the lines between like the girls as they're like walking home. We just talk, sure, like all those things, like when they're walking down, and like I remember like actually writing it in script form and trying to like write it out. So I always loved that film, and just kind of in general. I don't know, trick or treats for Bob,
Yeah, dude.
But we just talk, sure. Old
I
Jerko
feel
got
like, dude,
in trouble.
I don't know, man. It's just like everyday kids, man, like in that movie, and just like you feel a part of it.
Deborah Hill wrote that kind of dialogue, I never saw the full like TV version. I've seen clips of it. Like Michael sitting in the chair. He's like, "You fooled him, Michael." But I mean, the biggest memory of me seeing it was seeing the USA Network's promo. I don't know if you remember that from like the '90s. It had the Blue Oyster Cult soundtrack, and it also had like some of the TV clips, like. Michael Myers will be in a state penitentiary system for blah, blah, blah. Michael Audrey Myers. And it was just like, if you get a chance, USA Network, if anyone has a chance later, USA Network Halloween promo. It's really cool.
played it like up all night, like with Rhonda Shear, like that stuff?
It's sort of, but it was like I think it was on WPIX 11 maybe or one. Oh no, sorry, USA. Those are two different. Yeah, USA.
It was probably Up All Night.
Maybe it
Rhonda
might have been.
Shear.
Yeah. And then I remember years later seeing it on YouTube and seeing someone say, "I edited that." And I was like, "Oh, thank you so much." I watched that like continuously on repeat when I was like 15.
Yeah, no, I remember it would be a staple. I used to watch it yearly.
Yeah.
Obviously around Halloween and like throughout the whole month and stuff. And
it's harder to watch now because I feel like I've seen it so many times. Like you really got to be in the mood for it. Like I'll like kind of maybe watch like a Halloween 3, which I really season which, or I'll like, I think one year me and my wife we watched like Halloween 1 and 2 back to back.
That's one long continuous movie.
I know. Yeah, but
I love Halloween too, the original.
So but like I don't know, like what are your go-tos for Halloween? I mean, I wouldn't mind. I can only watch it once a year. Is what I'm saying. I can only watch on Halloween, but I can't like watch it like another time during the year. Like unless it's like on the big screen or something. I remember during one of the hurricanes, maybe it was 2000 when we had like the hurricane that Sandy, I think. I remember it was playing. I
went.
You did.
Yeah. And it was like bad out though.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
Oh my
God. It was
God.
no lights.
Dark. It was dark. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was playing at the Hicksville Broadway Mall.
Yep. Showcase. I don't know if it was Showcase Cinemas at the time, but that's now.
I remember
now
my
Showcase
parents
Cinemas.
were pissed, dude, because I left them in the house. Like, like my father couldn't go out or whatever, and he's like, "You're going out to the movies?" And I'm like, "What the fuck? The world's like ending, and when's it gonna end for you?" Like for real. Like, remember the blackout that we had during the summer?
Yeah,
that was like 2 days. All I was worried about was
Freddy vs. Jason.
Freddy vs. Jason, is that going to get released?
Yeah.
Like, I was so fucking obsessed. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about the power. I'm like, come on.
I was on the train with Horror Bob. I don't know if you know Horror Bob, Rob Brodemerkel, I think. He was like in Suffolk. Him and I were on a train to go to the city to see the premiere. Freddy vs. Jason.
But it was...
I don't think we're going like to a premiere. I think it was just like to watch it in the city kind of thing. But it was, and then the train stopped and we had to get out and get picked up.
Holy shit!
I know. But we were still in Suffolk. We were like in Lindenhurst or something. So.
Holy cow! My go-tos now for like the season, like I've been watching like Trick or Treat. I think they did a great job with that.
The newer one's not like do you mean like the one with Gene Simmons and
the other one.
That one's a little weird, but I do like that one a lot.
No, I like that one.
I like it a lot.
That's a good one.
It's
With
got
Sammy
good
Kerr.
aesthetic. Yeah.
It's weird. And it's got Ozzy in it and
the
stuff.
Fucking
Great
green
soundtrack.
thing in the car. I don't know. That was a little weird, but the green thing that comes alive in the car.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell that is.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Not for Halloween. I'm just saying in general. Like it's a really, really cool film.
I got
really is cool.
a great appreciation for Killer Clowns in the last 10 years because of my kid.
Oh, really?
Zozo loves it.
Oh, she does. That's awesome.
So like I could bond with her and watch that over. And the same thing with Trick or Treat. She really like digs that movie.
Okay, cool.
The same thing with Gremlins. Like that's not really.
Oh my God, Gremlins. That's a Christmas movie.
That's a Christmas movie
it is.
for me.
It's 100% a Christmas movie, for sure. Yeah. You ever seen The Family Man with Nicolas Cage? I have fond memories of that one. It's kind of like a Wonderful Life kind of thing. Like he plays like that, like that Wall Street guy or whatever, that business guy, and
Nick Cage is on fire right now.
Holy shit!
Like Long Legs.
Long Legs. I liked it.
Did you like it? Yeah, it was good, right?
I wasn't blown away, but I liked it. You know what I'm saying? It was
He was creepy,
it was probably
bro.
7 out of 10 for me. I liked it.
Like I feel like he like I don't know. I saw Tiny Tim, like
okay, yes, people have been saying it. Yeah,
like he dabbled into Tiny Tim, and like I see the elements that it has, like for Silence of the Lambs.
Yep.
But I'm curious to see what Osgood Perkins does going forward.
But see, that's the type of films I think need to come out nowadays. Like the way it was graded, the lighting, it was bleak. Like I love those kind of movies, and that's I think the new horror. I think that's the horror of today is like those really bleak, dark. The tonality, the lighting of it, just the adding to the factors. I think that's the coolest thing is in movies nowadays to have movies like that, like where they have all those elements. And I think like A24 and a lot is like what was that movie with Black Phillip? Like the
Witch.
The Witch. Yeah, like
great.
I'm saying like shit like that is like awesome.
You got to watch that with subtitles though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for me at least, because like their accent is so thick that you can't even really like.
It's been a
follow
while.
it and everything.
But I mean, let me tell you this one film that I watched recently with my wife, and we're like, this is one of the greatest films of all time. There Will Be Blood with Daniel Day-Lewis.
Oh, dude,
it's
that guy can act.
That
he can play anything.
Fucking
bastard in a basket.
Yeah. Telling
He's
you, man,
sick,
that is.
man.
I mean, that is. I mean, and seeing an interview with him, I was like, what the fuck? Like he talks nothing like that. He transformed completely into
He
his
always
cat.
does. What about the movie with My Left
his
Foot?
Voice, yeah, right.
Yeah, he's fucking.
Oh my God.
What was he like? Paraplegic or whatever? He ate with his foot, wrote with his foot.
Yeah,
I mean, he fucked someone with his foot in that movie.
Don't knock it till you try it.
Yeah, right. Exactly. The best foot job I ever got was from Daniel Day-Lewis back in the 80s. He also that other movie too, man. Like Bill the Butcher. He was the
Gangs of New York. I have not seen that.
Holy shit, dude! If you're a fan
it.
of like
Yeah, I gotta
There Will
see
Be
it.
Blood. Yeah, dude, he's awesome in
I gotta
that.
see that one.
He plays a real sick bastard in that movie too.
I'm sad that like we don't see any more like Jack Nicholson, like and like I think what was his last, not the one with Leonardo DiCaprio we saw. I think he's probably been in other things after that, but the Martin Scorsese film.
Yeah,
that he was
Departed. He was
yeah,
great.
Departed. But like we don't really hear. I hope he's okay. Like we don't.
He
really
doesn't.
Hear from
He's a
him.
recluse now.
Yeah.
He just like keeps
Okay.
to himself.
Yeah, he
The
was-
last movie I saw him in was that. What was it? The Pledge.
Okay.
Like he was like the kid went missing and he was trying to find him or something. I don't even remember.
Maybe he's just not doing acting anymore.
Yeah,
somehow.
he's not.
No.
He goes and watches Laker games and swims in the Riviera. That's the extent of old Jackie Boy these days.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to take a small break. I want to play Demon Scar's new single,
Nice.
which should be out next Tuesday. I love Breaking Street Date. It's so good. You know why? Because I'm in control. It's my world. I feel like Eddie Arcadian in fucking The Last Dragon. My world. Here is Chemicals. It is the new single by Demon Scar. Hope you like it.
It rips me up inside. I try to hide this pain to sift away the lies. To find another day, the emperor's hold on me. It's part of my disease, it spits right in my face. It brings me to my knees. I won't let this get the best of me. The chemicals won't be my destiny. It's still inside me. Cause I'll never leave, the change is up to me. My chance to set me free, the system's made from greed. It profits from me. Exploitment of disease and rooting of the dreams of spirits just like me that wanna keep hands clean. To be dependency won't be my legacy. The dependency won't be my legacy.
Chemicals, killing the noise, basic forms, the black and white, toxic fumes in the devil's cell, breathing the death like you just don't care. Chemicals, killing the noise, basic forms, the black and white, toxic fumes in the devil's cell, breathing the death like you just don't care.
and my boy Demon Scar. They both are good. I like them. They're good. They're good. Yeah, good and terrible. So yeah, that's the new song Chemicals. And that's going to be out on the 17th of September. September 23rd is also going to be a release date for me. My new single, Kill Hate Me, is going to be coming out with a video. But before we have that, tomorrow's the big day for the Forest Hills. The soundtrack's going to be released. And also, the trailer is going to be released.
Yep.
The website where you could purchase the DVD and the Blu-ray is also going up tomorrow. Tonight, whenever. It will be up.
Yeah.
So you can purchase it. Finally, it has seen the light of day.
I know.
It's been a long time coming. What are those websites again, Scott?
TFHscreenings.com to see the Forest Hills, and then also it's watchtheforesthills.com to get the Blu-ray and other merch and all fun stuff.
We will keep you posted as far as also some of the screenings we might be at where there'll be a Q&A that's going to be local stuff. Are you going to that one in PA?
Which one?
It's at a drive-in, I think, right?
Well, they had to reschedule that. They were going to see if we could reschedule that because there was another place that actually is having it 2 times that weekend in the same area 2 days later.
Okay.
So they kind of had to change it. They want to overstep on that. So it's going to be on the weekends now in Philadelphia at a place called the EMMAUS Theater.
Okay.
Emmaus? I don't know how you say it, but it's a theater and it's cool. I don't know. It's really cool. Like just seeing like it's like when you look. I just looked. I was like when you click on order tickets, you actually pick seats. So I'm gonna like be
nice.
I'm gonna be like looking and being like, oh, did anyone buy seats? Oh, I hope so. Did anyone buy seats? Like 2 weeks later,
so
shit,
you can, like,
no one bought seats.
Keep track or whatever.
Okay.
That's perfect for you.
Yeah.
I want up to the minute updates. Smithers.
Yep.
Well, hopefully, also down the line, I'd love to bring it back to Smodcastle Cinemas.
It is, yeah. It'll be there the 4th, 5th, and 6th of October. It'll be there that weekend. Tickets actually are on sale at smodcastle.com and on the website.
Awesome.
TFH Screenings, yep.
That's a great theater. That's a mom and pop. That's owned by Kevin Smith and his lifelong friend, Ernie. I go to their events all the time, and we had our premiere there.
Yep.
With Kevin Smith hosting it, and shit, man, talk about another moment. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, it was really cool.
Yeah, we're fans. We're we're everyday fans of film, and to have a movie like that we could say was ours that we could put out and
it's a group effort for sure, and really appreciate that. And yeah, it's just. Crazy journey.
It really has
some
been,
films.
man.
Some films are like that. Some films you go up through ups and downs, and hopefully then you see the success and love that people that you hope that people enjoy it. Yeah.
Well, you know what? If it wasn't, it would be fucking boring. So why wouldn't there has to be some kind of story?
Yeah, that's true.
You know, think about fucking Halloween. How many times it got rejected?
Yeah,
and that's because he sent the movie out without the score.
I know.
And then once he put the score in, Mustafa Akkad out of nowhere was the one that fucking saw that, hey, this has potential in it. You know what? I'm gonna back this.
Yeah.
And it's all about taking chances.
Of course. Yep.
All the missed chances that you have are the chances that you never took. So hey, at the end of the day, fuck it. Go for it.
You might be at convention signing as Arnie. So have you thought about what you would charge? Dude, let me tell you something. I mean, it's gone out of control. Some of these, right?
I think I'm gonna take.
I would do 20.
$20.
Right? I go by the 2008. What's it called? Pricing.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like Sid Haig.
$20, $30.
$20 for everything. $20. I'll quote it. I'll shit on it. I'll piss on it. Whatever you want me to do, I'll do it. I'll take a picture with you. I'll do everything. I'll sign anything.
Yeah.
I seriously, Sid Haig, God rest his soul, beautiful man. He could have upcharged his fans all those years. Once, I blame The Walking Dead for that shit because once The Walking Dead became so popular, they went into business and they were like, you know what, we could start charging these people a lot of money. The year before The Walking Dead came out, I met Norman Reedus. Norman Reedus was $25
Wow.
for his autograph with his picture free. The next time I saw him was season 2 of The Walking Dead. It was $100 both for each. $100 for his picture, $100 for his autograph.
Wow.
So now I think he's about $200 a pop.
Shit.
You know, it's crazy, man. You know, and
It's gotten hard. It's gotten worse.
I'm not blaming the promoters. Some of my friends are still promoters that put on these shows and everything.
Yep.
This is their livelihood,
Of course.
and I would never take away business from them.
Right. It's a business now. It's like it's always been a business, but I feel like now there's a hand in everything. There's a hand for the what do you call the handler, and you know all these other. Didn't Ari Lehman post something out recently?
Yeah, he did.
Yep.
Ari's great, man. Ari tries to keep his prices down because he knows that for a family of 4 to come to a convention, you got to pay to get in. You got to pay for hotel, accommodation, gas, food, all that shit.
It's horrible.
So by the time you even get through the door, you're already a couple of $100 deep already. So, you know, like I'm gonna give a shout out right now to this company that represents they represent some of the Friday the 13th alumni, and it's my friends at C&V Promotions. C&V Promotions have been doing it for a while. They're my friends Stacy and Chris, and they always tell their clients, listen, if you keep your prices low and you give them a free picture with an autograph, they're going to come back and they're going to, in the long run, you're going to make more money. Whereas if you jack up your prices, people are not going to pay it, you know, and it's true. They have great lines for their clientele, and it's people that you've met before, you know. They have Jeffrey Voorhees, who played Alex Kittner in Jaws. They have a lot of people from the Friday the 13th series. Amy Steele is a sweetheart, you know. Lauren Marie Taylor from Part 2. Bill Randolph from Part 2.
I have a story about Lauren Marie Taylor, actually.
Do you?
So when we were at the Fangoria Weekend of Horrors in 2008, CJ Graham was next to me, and so was Caroline Williams. And Caroline Williams, you still owe me that my wife that autograph picture. She's like, if you hold my seat, I got to take a smoke. I'll give you a free autograph picture. She never did. but anyway, so all of a sudden, like, we bought our table. You know, it's like $300, and Lauren Marie Taylor starts putting pictures on our table. And I was like, excuse me, I knew her to a degree, but I wasn't like, I'm a big fan of like 3 and 4 and like 5 and all those. So number 2 is like probably my least. But I now looking back on it, like, I was in my 20s, like was I in my 20s? Yeah, around that. And, and you're younger nowadays. I'd be like, oh yeah, that's fine. You could put them on. I know there's not enough space or anything, but I was a little mean. And I shouldn't have been. So I learned. But that's my little Lauren Marie Taylor story.
If it was Dana Kimmel, you'd be like,
Dana
sure,
Kimmel's
take the
great. I think her husband does. I think they do like construction or something with because I wanted her to be in the Forest Hills, and I found her email. And I contacted her. She's like, "No, thank you, I appreciate it, etc. But no, thank you, kind of thing." I don't know if she's just. I don't know if she's not acting anymore. Yeah, no. And she's also Mormon or something. I think
so. Yeah, she doesn't really do conventions very often.
I went to Screenfest LA with Paul Kratka from Friday 13 Part 3, where I knew Larry Zerner because I was part of like the groups. There was like in the 2000s, there was like the Friday 13th forums.
Dude, Stacy was all over that. She's Mrs. Voorhees.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Okay, there you go.
She ran it, Stacy Voorhees.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. So I remember Richard Brooker was there. He seemed really nice, but they had it in 3D, and it was really cool because then like Paul Kratka and like Larry Zerner and all of them, they were like doing like a Q&A after, which is really cool to see. It's really cool to see in 3D. Have you seen it yet in 3D?
Yeah.
Or? Cool.
I saw it at Cinema Arts Center.
Oh yeah, I think I might have seen it there too.
They had
a couple years back.
Amityville 3D.
Oh yes.
And something else. Yeah. I forget what else was there.
Yeah. Yep. It was another 3D, right? It was like a 3D night kind of thing.
Yeah, it was three of them.
Jaws 3D?
No.
Ugh, that's so bad, that one.
What the hell is the third one? I don't even
Amityville
remember.
3D,
Friday the 13th 3D.
Oh, yeah. No, well, was it Amity 2 in 3D? Is that in 3D? Or
No, it
is
was Amity 3D.
Which is the one like with the mirror and like when the girl's looking in the mirror or something, and it was like within her gown or some shit. Was that like
That's
part
2?
That was 2. Okay.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was Diane Franklin.
Okay.
Yeah. She's in The Last American Virgin.
Okay. There was a movie I saw recently that I hated because I'd never gave it a chance, but The Omen I really fucking like. It was really entertaining.
Yeah, with the original?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
It was years ago I saw in my 20s, like, this is so fucking boring. But like,
No way,
sometimes you gotta like, open yourself up to The Changeling. I haven't seen in a while. I did not like it when I originally saw it. I thought it was too slow, but maybe I got to give that one another chance, maybe. So I haven't seen that in a long time, though.
Dude, the Omen soundtrack, man, is awesome.
Oh my god. I mean,
that's
that's awesome.
The kid's
movie.
awesome.
Yep. It is.
And Mrs. Baylock, whoever the fuck, where they ever found her, that whole scene when she walks in and she's like, I am here to protect the little one.
Yeah.
And like the dog is hanging out with him and shit.
You ever seen oh shit, what's that? Oh fuck. I forget. But Stage Fright. It was like a Italian film, like with the fucking like bird on the head or whatever. And the guy escapes and like he terrorizes like a play that's going on. There's like this, and he like dresses like in this like big like bird like head. It's really cool. It was from like the 80s, like 87 or so.
I don't think I ever
Gotta
saw
check.
it.
Oh my god,
Was it a trauma movie?
No, it was from I think it was an Italian. It was an Italian horror film. But it's called
Stage Fright?
Stage Fright, 1987 it is. Yeah,
It
yeah.
could have been another name too.
Could have been, maybe. Yeah, possibly, yeah. But then there was also another film I saw, a Japanese horror film, and I never watched them. But on Amazon, they had this Japanese horror film about these people. It's like a red car. They like park at this gate and behind this building. There was like something going on in there. But I don't know if you ever seen it or not. Someone tries to get to the car, they get killed or dragged out of the car. It was a Japanese film, but it was a really cool vibe. And another one I like is The Brain. You ever see The Brain?
Yeah,
that's a cool one.
That's good.
Yeah, and that was shot in Canada, I think, too.
Really?
Yeah, because I think you could tell from all like the fucking like cloudy, overcast days. I love
the
that
moose
kind of
is
shit.
walking around. It's a good day out, eh?
Maniac Cop.
Rabbit Zadar.
Yeah, that guy is weird looking
Dude,
face.
was,
Holy
dude.
fuck! And he was in what, Hellhole?
Yeah.
He played like one of the security guards or something like that.
Yeah. And he was also in Tango and Cash.
I haven't seen that. Okay,
with Stallone and
okay,
Kurt Russell.
So was that just his real face, or did he get like? Oh, really?
No, it was his real face, but then like he got surgery after that.
Yeah. Okay.
I think he like had some kind of like facial reconstruction done for something.
Oh,
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, but I mean,
my friend Jeremy worked with him on this movie called Easter Sunday.
Okay.
And he said he was a sweetheart.
He's still around, or he
passed?
He passed. That's what I thought. What about the guy Tim Ron from that movie, the show? He never goes to conventions. Timothy something. He played like a bald head killer in like school. Fuck, what was it called? Final Exam. How come he doesn't do conventions?
I don't know, dude. There's a lot of these people that don't, they just don't know about them, and once they,
sorry, you know who I met, which is really cool. I got an autograph from Eric Freeman from Silent Night, Deadly Night 2.
I just met him.
You did, yeah. Nice.
He's great. Such a nice guy.
I know. Oh my god.
I just met I did a picture with him, Billy from the first one, and the mother from the first one, Tara Buckman, who's also in Cannibal Run, the first one. They did it was at Chiller Theater. Dude, Chiller Theater, I don't know if you follow their page. They got a stacked lineup.
Really?
This one coming up in October.
Where's did you send it to me or someone else did? Edward Furlong's doing a convention. I forget which one.
It's in Oaks.
Oaks, yeah.
It's Monster Mania.
Yeah.
They're doing a big Aliens reunion.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Yeah, him and Michael Biehn are going to be there. But, I mean, he's not an Aliens.
Yeah,
but they're going to have a Terminator thing. Yeah, he just got added. That's Eddie Furlong's going to be in Oaks, Pennsylvania. He's part of the Forest Hills. He plays Billy.
Right, yeah.
So, all right. I'm going to do some plugging, and we're going to wrap up this episode of Primal Scream. I'd like to thank Mr. Beeries, who is our lifelong sponsor, and me friend, love Steve Beery. Monday Oki it is karaoke with Kevin Monday every Monday night.
Oh, cool.
Tuesday night vinyl. Bring your favorite vinyl, and they will play a side for you. Wednesday, they're going to continue with the Rolling Stones Let It Bleed tribute every Wednesday night. You can go check them out. On Thursdays, they have the best open mic night, sponsored by Murphy's Music. This week, on Friday, the Ramones, Blue Alien Mystic, and Sunday Girl. And on Saturday, Something Bitter, Sandman Sleeps, Pilot Program, only on weekends, and Gone Stereo. Now, Saturday, October 12th, Beery's HorrorCon 2 is happening. Our special guest this year is going to be Patty Mullen. She plays Frankenhooker. There will be a question and answer with her. She's going to meet her fans, come down and get a picture with the original Frankenhooker. There's going to be awesome Italian food by my friend Christina. She's going to be making awesome grub from Cornicello. There's going to be psychic readings, some horror art paraphernalia. I'm going to be there. Later on in the night, also, there's going to be Tom Bennett's birthday party. He's got Cover Me Bad and Scapository. They're going to be playing. And there's also going to be a special screening of a movie that I haven't announced yet, but you never know what it could be. Always check out over here, though, at Primal Screen, because maybe we'll let you know, and maybe not. We'll see. It will be $20 to get in, and that includes a free shot, whatever you like. And that's about it. Again, tomorrow, The Forest Hills. The soundtrack will be available via Bandcamp. Also, the CD is available for sale, $13. You could DM me. I will send you where you got to go. And Scott, what are those websites again for the info?
TFHscreenings.com and watchtheforesthills.com.
Awesome. Scott, thanks for coming down, man. I had a blast.
Same. Thank
shooting
you,
the shit. You're always welcome to come down. We'll keep you posted. Again, thank you, Tony, for
thank you, Tony.
touching me in ways that no one else can touch me. And speaking of which, the hand, I'd like to show that a little friend from. I had so much fun with this little prosthetic hand on the set of The Forest Hills. It was cool. It was my right and left hand, whatever which way I went that day. But again, guys, I'm Nick Graystone, and you're not, and I'll be seeing you later.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to Primal Scream. I'm Nick Graystone, a.k.a. The Nizza. Each week, Primal Scream is produced by Tony Walker and executive produced by Demon Scar. Always remember, nobody writes your story but you. Later.